Millions of Americans have hearing loss, and some choose to have it treated and some don't. And they think maybe if they just have people talk louder, it'll be okay. But that's not necessarily true, is it, Dr. Danny Gnewikow?
Well, not totally. I think a lot of people, when they have a hearing loss, they don't consider it to be a big issue. It's an inconvenience to me. I have to have people speak louder. But it can be a lot more than that. You lose more hearing, you have more major issues involved with it. So you're out with people you don't know, and someone says, "How are you feeling today?" And about 8:30, and everyone in the room laughs, except you.
Right.
Or when you respond to the waitress as she leaves the table, telling her something that's perfectly rational and reasonable, and your wife gives you a funny look and say, "Why in the world did you say that to the waitress? That's not what she said." So what starts off to be something that doesn't seem particularly significant to us, after a while can cause some very embarrassing situations. And with that embarrassment, after a while you get to the point where the frustration causes you to maybe not talk as much. So you get out with your friends and you sit there and kind of smile and nod and shake your head when many of the things they said you really didn't understand.
Right.
Simply because you don't want to make a fool of yourself. It's better if you say nothing, they don't understand that you understood them or didn't understand them, but you at least are not making a fool out of yourself. And so after a while, you begin to withdraw a little bit. I don't want to go out with those people. They're nice people, but I can never understand what she says to me. And I've said some crazy things. And so, let's don't go out with them tonight. Let's just stay home and play Scrabble or whatever. And so, little by little, as hearing loss progresses, people become less and less social. They start to become more withdrawn. They start to become more pulling into themselves. And that isolation leads to stress. You know, when you don't hear well and you get embarrassed 2 or 3 times, and you don't want to respond, or you have to respond and then you're worried, did I say the right thing? It really tends to build things up and make it much more difficult for you. We've talked about this in previous segments as well. A lot of research done recently, particularly up at Johns Hopkins, have found that as we lose hearing, particularly as we age, our cognitive functions, that's our brain function, tends to go down, and that there is a very strong relationship between hearing loss and early dementia. So all of these things relate to our health, they relate to our stress, they relate to our socialization, and they also relate to our family relationships, where a husband and a wife bicker over things that they both agree on, simply because there was a breakdown in communication. So I think it's important that when you look at the hearing loss, particularly as it begins to worsen, that you realize it's like a house of cards. It starts off little, one card falls, and little by little the others fall, the domino effect. And you don't want to end up your life being a hermit and not wanting to socialize with people when there are things that you can do about it. So remember, hearing loss is more than just an inconvenience. It's a significant health consequence.
And if you want to learn more about prevention and treatment, you can call Audiology Hearing Aid Associates on Langhorne Road in Lynchburg at 434-528-4245. Also on Main Street in Danville, 434-799-6288, and online at digitalhearing4u.com. And we'll be right back.